This is your weekend market recap for Friday, February 11th, 2022. Let's go.
This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you.
This is Dan Max, EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Friday, February 11th, 2022. Let's get into it. As always, starting out the Discord room. If you are watching these videos regularly, please stop by. Posting tons of updates, what's going on with the market, headlines, talking about how the headlines should affect the markets, just a whole lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good friends and traders in here who are posting their insights, so I appreciate them if they're watching as well. They know their family, and yeah, let's get into it. So this action is one of these things where, again, over trading. I mean, when you don't get the highs and the lows of positioning for the market action, you're just putting yourself in a position to get hammered. And when I say hammered, it's just if the news comes out against you, man, you will just get drilled. And I know people who play short-term options and try to over leverage short-term, trying to make a ton of money quickly, and when it works, it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. And what will ultimately happen is no different than just the casino, is that you'll get on a cold streak and you'll go bust, and you will definitely get busted. That's just how it goes. Bitcoin. So this video, there's going to be a lot of yeah, I told you so's, and I hope you watched the previous videos, and not to pat my own back, but just to prove to people, like, hey, there's order to the chaos. There's repeating patterns. The markets aren't just random. Like, they might seem random, but they are orderly. And the more you trade, the more you start to realize that, because what you'll see, especially, you know, if you start thinking about the spies and what's going on, like, we'll talk about that in a minute too, but you'll see there's nothing new. The market's pretty much the same. All right, if you watched the previous video, it said ABC Gartley pattern was probably due to take a break. We identified, I apologize, I didn't draw it, but we talked about the VAP zone right here. You see how the volume at price, oh Jesus, that is just bad. The volume at price in this area, you can see it extends pretty strongly. Anyway, what that means is a lot of trapped buyers in here. On the first test, do not be surprised it backed off. It did, and at this point, you know, just watch the levels. Watch the levels, simple. Watch the point 236, that's one of the fibs, and also the green. I know this chart, that's why I hate TradingView, man. It just gets so convoluted with so much crap, but I would be watching this next VAP zone here in the 43,000 range. If it holds, should be good to go. Again, there's a lot of interesting things going on with the market today. All right, Discord room, we talked about this actually. People, oh man, the levels matter. And here we go, we'll start it again. I said watch this area down here. If we get down here and we, you know, I did a little informal survey saying, hey, what's up, Kat? What are the odds that the market bottom, or the TLT, aka bond market, will bottom top if you actually look at yields? Remember, when people buy bonds, yields go down. So what are the odds that all this news is a sell and the bonds will actually rally, meaning the yields will come down? Sell the news, the rallies will, you know, yields will drop. Well, again, I don't know why things happen when they do. Of course, I can't predict the news, but I'm pretty good at predicting oversold conditions and just the potential. You know, when you get the news of the CPI, everybody and their mom, literally, I mean, everybody and their mom knew that inflation was going to be strong coming in. Whether it was going to beat or exceed, you know, we all had different opinions. But one of the things that I definitely felt like regardless was, guess what? I think the bond market's going to bottom. The TLT is going to bottom. And look at today's volume. I know it's going to be based on news, but we'll get into that in a second. But booyakasha, it popped. So the dollar popped. You know, what have we been saying? Watch the old trend line and then watch the top of the range. Well, we're at the 50-day. The dollar at this point is making higher lows and higher highs. Just keep that in mind. Higher low, or low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. Could it go higher? At this point, I would not be surprised. The VIX. I mean, if you watch, again, the previous videos, we said watch the 100-day, watch the lows. We thought it could get to the 200-day, but if it held, it could pop. Nice pop on the VIX up to 31. There's a reason why I have these numbers. There's a lot of data that represents what kind of action follows. We got right to crash risk. And that's where when I get into the SPY, and I posted on the Discord, even though I wasn't around too much today, I had some other things going on. I said, hey, and this is I apologize. This is a tweet from Justin Pulitzer, who I respect as a trader. He knows his stuff. I mean, if you don't follow him, he's another person you should follow. His service is pretty affordable in the sense he charges per I think was it per month. It's not that bad, or per video he releases. What did we say? I apologize. Here we go. If there's ever news to trim some shorts into and lower stops, this has to be it, in my opinion. It's over here. I'm over here laughing at the press conference. Hey, not surprised. Let's look at what happened here. Fake breakout. We talked about wait for the CPI. That closed yesterday. I said if you go below the 20-day, you're good. Well, we went below the 100-day, which, yeah, okay. That's part of it. You close at the lows, but let's be aware of what's going on, The 20-month. And or the 20-week. This is why sometimes you look at the weekly, the monthly chart. You don't have to stare at them all day, but they should definitely cross your visual field regularly. At this point, now what? If you're a bear, you're good, but this Russia shit is an absolute false flag bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, Russia's not invading Ukraine, and if they do, I'm about 99.9% sure they're going to cross the border, take it over, and Biden and Eastern and Europe are going to cry, and they're not going to do shit. Does how that affect the market at this point? I think it's just a repeating headline that to me has no merit, but the market's respecting it for now. We'll see how that plays out. We talked about the 200-day. I hope people were watching that. When we got that retest yesterday, said you could short it. There's literally video on this. We talked about it very clearly. Look what's going on. I'd watch this now, lower range. The monthly on the Qs, if you watch the previous video, I said I would not be surprised when the 20-month retest. Well, are we getting back down there? If you got your puts, your options, just if you're short dated, I know people might say like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Hey, if you're short dated and you got the 200-day and it's closing down here, I'm taking most of that money off because I know short dated puts. Don't be surprised that if you get down, pop, down, pop, and you don't ever know, is it going to be a shallow down? At this point, there's no easy answer. The only easy answer is when you got profits, take them, and then watch for entries. I mean, if you're a trader, that's what you're supposed to do, is trade, not buy and hold. Like, you don't turn into a trader. You don't turn trades into investments. And you don't turn investments into trades. That was always rule number one that I was taught. Gold. I said I didn't like yesterday's formation, but guess what? Today's action changes all of that. And that's why and now you'll hear me say this. One day does not make a trend. Now we're getting somewhere. You got to get over these levels. We're breaking the downtrend with volume. And I know today was volume on news. We'll see. Notice where we took where we closed at. I'll drop for the guys and gals watching at home. Get over this area. And now you have what I would call higher lows, higher highs now. So let's see if this is an uptrend. I mean, this chart is so sloppy because let's just admit it, gold and silver manipulated, but that's the reality. Let's go into silver. We said we did not like yesterday's action, but again, one day doesn't make a trend. I keep telling people, and again, if you watch the video, I said, pray it gets back down into here if you want to buy more, because silver's just cheap. But you know what? Hey, it looks like it looks like someone else recognizes that these prices are still cheap. So I don't expect to retest this zone, but if we do, here again, it is on the monthly again. Take some time every once in a while to peer at the monthly, weekly. This zone matters, and it matters for a reason. We're holding. Let's get into the miners, because this is some pretty awesome action. I mean, this is why, again, trading can be very hard, but getting in at the right prices is what matters. If you bought Wednesday or Thursday, you got shaken out, or you're like, oh, this sucks. But if you bought down here and you're just snoozing and you're doing whatever you want on the side and you have your stops, you have your levels, today's action is like, thank you. GDXJ, same kind of thing. Keep in mind, we're all on the monthly channel lows. You're buying in the zone. You're loving it. And out here, let me just pop in on the monthly since it is the weekend market recap, daily market recap, whatever. That's where we're at. It's the bottom of the channels. Let's get into the names. AM. Hey, where is Eric? Oh, he's ice fishing. But you know what he said? You should be buying AEM because it is at levels that matter. And you can confirm that. Let's thicken this lineup because I know what he was looking at. I apologize if I didn't talk about it as in-depthly as I should have, but I know what I see you, bro. I see you. I knew what you're looking for. You said, hey, if it gets back down to the 47, it's a buy. And look at that, boom, pops back up to 50. That is a good start. Keep in mind, again, let's look at the monthly chart. They're at the 100 and 200 a month. This is strong. Is this a strong area? AG. Stock twits, folks. I told y'all. Y'all got to be buying down here in the 9s. I mean, of course, I've been buying it. I mean, it's a freak. Dude, it's a deal. I'll just keep it at that. This is the buy zone. Nice reversal today because we took out all the action with higher volume. Notice where we closed right below the trend line. If we break this trend line and you show me the volume, this should show you money. It should show bigger bank accounts or trading accounts. Let's call that. PAAS, another one. Interesting action. Boom, breakout over the 50-day. I would say you got to get over the 100-day to really be strong. Let's get into some of the regular commodity names because this is one. Hey, if you're watching the videos, you said you could have sold some covered calls. Look what happened. Channel and 200-day. Hey, this is what you want to see now if you're a bull. High and tight. Stay over those moving averages. Hold up. Compress before the launch. I love compressions before launches because it makes everybody confused who don't know what's going on. It gets people to sell at the highs right before the move. What did we say? Same thing with VALE. Like, this thing's been on fire. Don't be surprised if you get over the 200-day, break this channel if you backtest it. And again, you're seeing a repeating pattern here. Breaking out of channels sometimes and retesting happens, and sometimes it doesn't. But that's why you know your levels and you really don't chase. Like if you bought here, if you bought yesterday, what do you say to yourself? Today's action. What do I do? Yeah, I don't know either. Your 200-day would be your stop. That's all I could really tell you. Let's get into tech because as much as I love to troll people, sometimes that just clearly are bots. Like they're literally bots. They're not even people. It's just fun to toy with them. Or they're like 100, the same person with 100 accounts. Hits the 200-day. I mean, you can't even make this shit up. But what did we say a couple days ago? I said, like, this isn't bullish. I said yesterday, this is not bullish. You do not want to break out without volume and then come back to all this area. Well, not all this area. You just make a lower high. That lower high to me said, maybe you must be going lower. And then again said, watch the 20-day. It's the red 20-day moving average. Once that failed, 121 down to 11. I mean, you had 11 points, 10 points. That's not a bad trade. Keep in mind it did drop with volume. I've tried to warn the bulls, like, hey, senior friends, ladies, like, take a break. I think been on a monster move. Hit channel high. Last time it took months to play out. That one was, I don't know. The market's just different. Money's rotating. I hope people see that. Like, it's, things that are always leading aren't leading anymore. And I hope you see that. Like VALE, X, some of these names, like, they look way better. Way better. Apple, what did we say? You got to get over 176. You couldn't. He said if the 20-day fails, the 50-day fails, hit the 20-day. Now, again, if you don't believe me, go watch the previous videos. I mean, we talk about this stuff. Tech is lagging. It is just, that's the nature of the beast. That's why I'm not buying tech. But people are like, oh, you're not short. And I'm like, nah, because money's rotating. I know it's going somewhere. It's going to the metals, miners. It's going to the industrials. Well, it just is what it is. MicroStrategy, we said, hey, fill the gap. I guess I should draw it because people might be like, oh, you're just making this up. You didn't see this yesterday. It's like, yeah, go watch the video. Haters are gonna hate. Like when they're wrong and upside down in a trade, instead of trying to be friendly and figure it out, they just get angry and get mad at the world. I can understand that at times, but whatever. Fill the gap. What we say, 20-day. Just it's got to stay over the 20-day. Roadblocks. I warned people yesterday. I'm like, please don't chase this thing. It is just at the lows. It can be super sloppy, choppy. Here we go. long wick, lower low, lower high today. I mean, again, anywhere at 60 in the 50s now, I like it. I like it a lot. But if you chase it, I don't have pity for you if you're wrong. Like, it's just can be that hard. Rivian, this is another one we said you got to get over the 20-day. Did not close over the 20-day. Look what happened. Tesla, oh my God. Please go back and watch the videos from October, because this reminds me of like the TLT. Like when the TLT is going a straight line move and all the great news is coming out for Tesla, all the bad news coming out for bond market, it eventually reversed. I mean, it's the same kind of action. I've told people like, hey, it was great to break this downtrend, but the next thing was the 20-day, and then you had a doji and another doji. Now you're making lower lows. I've said this over and over again. I will put a nice little circle there to confirm it. Watch the 200-day. I mean, it's really that simple at this point. I mean, you got to watch the 200-day. Like, that has to be your buy point. Do not chase these stocks. Especially tech, it's lagging. Like, look on the monthly. You know, like, this thing is probably going back to the channel lows. God forbid it breaks the channel lows, because if it does, remember I pointed this out, doji in November. God forbid. Think about all the bulls who have been buying up here, just going nuts. It's the next thing. It's the future. And it's like, guys, the future is priced in. It's got to earn its future now. Well, guess what? I'll wait for Elon to start buying back before I would think about even it. But guess what? You're buying before he does. If you would have sold when he does and you buy when he does, go study his track record. You're going to be doing well. If you're trading just to trade it and you think it always goes up, pity the fool. This is a PENN. Again, talk about, like, I admit when I'm wrong. Like, I'm batting 80, 85%. You know, that's about as good as you can get in trading. There's some who can do 90, but they spend a lot of money to do it. 50 days key. You know, it looks stronger. And now, is it rallying on the Super Bowl because it's a gambling stock? Be aware. Be aware. Could it pull back after the Super Bowl? That's kind of how I would think about it. UTHR for Mikey Mike. We talk about this until you get over 215 or you're down at the lows. There's really nothing to do about it. The EXPI. Remember, Zillow had good data yesterday. I was listening to the Denver Metro Association of Realtors. There's a 6 to 8 year lag in supply and housing. Do you think housing prices are going lower? To get back to old 2 year worth of supply or 2 month worth of supply, you're gonna need a lot of to get back to like a long-term historical supply of housing. 6 to 8 years. I mean, you underbuild for, I think, was it 2012, 13 years. You know, we used to have a run rate of 25 million home units built per year. We've been at 6 and 5 for the last 10 years. We are undersupplied. Real estate agents are going to do well. Commissions are strong. I mean, people are talking about cutting commissions, but guess what? You're a crappy agent, yeah, you deserve your commission cut. If you're a good agent, you deserve every penny you're worth. It's like a lawyer, it's like a doctor, a dentist, I mean, whatever profession. Like, if they're really good at it, they deserve the commissions because they're going to get you the money. That's what I love to do. That's what I love to prove over and over again. Like, hey, you work with me, I want to work my butt off to make sure we get the most amount of money, because it becomes now not necessarily a pride thing, but it's like, hey, you're paying me a lot of money, I'm gonna do my best. That's how the market works. It's always funny. People are like, oh, I wanna sell my house for 5%. It's like, I'm gonna charge you 6. You want it for 500,000. If you're willing to pay that extra 1%, I'm gonna work my ass off maybe to get you 550 or 6. And it's like, no, I don't want to pay you an extra 1% or $5,000. It's like, what planet are people on? Sometimes get what you pay for. You want discount services, you get discount services. If you want a discount rate, you get discount services. Yeah, XOP. John O, what up, bro? Look at that. We gotta close over that. Look at that volume. Channel high awaits, my friend. It should, but just be aware of the previous high at like 115. You got to get over that. ExxonMobil, hard to predict the news. You know, I've never said I was shorting it, but I did say I would love to buy it around the 70s. Backtest the breakout. Well, if you don't get there, you don't get there. But you know what? I just don't chase. So if I miss trades, I miss trades. All right, that's the weekend market recap. If you like what you see, please subscribe, share, drop a comment. Again, I'd like to know who's been watching this far into the video, because if you do, drop a comment and say, bro, drop the comment, and put it in quotation marks. Because if you come by the Discord room, I do this all the time. If you have a question about a particular stock, I'll drop a video on it. I'll do a short on it, because usually a lot of this stuff I can do very quickly. I can record and post a video to YouTube or into this pretty quickly. So I'm here to help. If you like what you see, again, give it a shout out. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Study the charts. Know what's coming next week. Know what's coming. Bullish days early in the week, lower usually in later in the week. It's OPEX, 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 OPEX. Don't forget.
Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.